Strozny charges into the orphanage, the city guard at his back. Izek looks to the party and in his most menacing voice says, "It's time for your lunch date." X tries to figure out a way not to follow this obviously unhinged individual with a massively large arm. But in the end, everyone agrees to follow Izek to the Baron's home. When they arrive, they find a foreboding mansion. But inside, they pass a room full of beautifully dressed ladies, including the Baroness, Lydia Petrovna. The gaggle of ladies chat together, planning a festival, which, while full of festive decor and delicious pastries, still feels a bit forced, a bit off. It's kind of like that scene in Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, where that one dude is like chewing tomatoes while his son dies. Yeah, it's like that. They continue on to the study of Baron Vargas Vallokovich. Two massive dogs flank the Baron as Izek moves to stand menacingly behind his father. The party waits, and the tension and suspense build. Then the Baron breaks into a smile and effusively thanks them for bringing Irina safely to them. The Baron reveals that he recently discovered that Irina is actually none other than Izek's sister, and that she was thought lost. Both had been orphaned and lost. Izek was found by the Baron and adopted. Irina was found and adopted by Barovia city's burgomaster. He seems to be telling the truth, but a shrewd ear tells the party that he knows more to the story than he's letting on. The Baron tells them of a reward waiting for them at Belinsky's toy shop. The Baron explains to them how these festivals keep Vallaki safe and that negativity here is outlawed, sharing that he had to have the shoemaker locked in his attic for talk of potential ill omens. The party then asks, hypothetically, if they were to provide proof of actual darkness, say a vampire nest, that needed to be or had been rooted out, if they would be rewarded. The Baron responds that they would absolutely be rewarded, but if they were found to be lying, they would instead be punished. X listens raptly while unceremoniously stuffing his face with cake, multiple cakes. Not wanting to take anything at face value and to ensure that she is indeed safe, the party asks to see Irina and be given a chance to talk to her alone. The Baron acquiesces quickly enough, and Irina arrives. The Baron and Izek leave them alone, and the party chats with Irina. She confirms everything the Baron said, mentioning that it appears to be true, and is a much less troubling explanation for Izek's obsession with her and his collection of dolls of her than other possible reasons, i.e., sexual fixation, or just creep or ick. With little choice but to trust that things are what they seem to be, the party makes their goodbyes and heads out to make plans for the coffin maker's home and the vampires within. Heading back to the Blue Water Inn, the party finds a well-dressed Kenku trying to get their attention from an alleyway. Never one's to turn down a chance to satisfy their attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, the party approaches the Birdman. He introduces himself as Gurubler and explains that his mistress, Lady Wachter, would like a word. With it being midday and nothing more pressing than a nest of vampires or a shipment of wine to take care of, the party agrees to hear out this Lady Wachter. The party follows Gurubler to the mansion and finds Lady Wachter waiting for them. She asks them about their meeting with the Baron and shares that she would like assistance to engage in a hostile takeover of the Burgermeister/Baron's mansion, job, and city. To take power, okay? She wants all the power in Vallaki. And she thinks that the key is to kill Izek, whose power, she mentions, was granted to him by a fiend or devil. Several of the party are amenable to taking out Izek on principle, but always the materialistic type, the party asks what they'd get in return, in which she responds, a few gold. The party haggles for the house she'd be vacating if she took residence in the Baron's mansion. She appears to consider this, which is good enough for the party. The party finally makes it back to the Blue Water Inn, only to be waylaid by Rictavio. He excitedly shares that he has a tiger. Dane and Odessa immediately think this tiger might be of use to the party when fighting the vampires in the coffin maker's shop. That night, they try to steal the tiger, but Rictavio catches them when X's loud attempt to sneak around fails miserably. Odessa thinks that she manages to convince Rictavio that they just wanted to see the tiger, but what she doesn't know is that she has no idea if she convinced him. Did she? Didn't she? Wonder how that's gonna go. Sans a tiger surprise, the party goes to the coffin maker's house. They send the coffin maker on his way, and Odessa tries and fails to make use of the windows and doors against their blood-sucking foes. Instead, everyone goes upstairs and attacks the boxes lying throughout. Vampires burst forth, shattering their boxes, and attack. Swords swing, crossbow bolts fly, axes hack, divine hammers smash, and Dane casts a whirling vortex of radiant magic protectors that save the party from dying a horrible, bloody death. Eventually, every one of the vampires dies at the hands of the party. The party collects the bones from the church, the head of a vampire, and the teeth of all the other vanquished vamps before preparing to move on.